Hello everybody, this is Lane, the Nebraska Barefoot guy, and this is kind of a backstory, so this might be a longer video, so you might want to shoot out of here now, but this is kind of like how I got to where I'm at now in my confidence level to go barefoot anywhere. But I think it really started because there was a point where I didn't talk to anybody. I was kind of a shy kid in high school. If I didn't know you, I didn't talk to you. I spent 10 years in the Navy. And if I was back in the day when you waited in line to get into a popular movie at a movie theater, I didn't talk to the person ahead of me. I didn't talk to the person behind me. I just didn't, if I didn't know you. So, kind of a shy guy, believe it or not. And anyways, later on, I got into Amway, and it was good. It was a good experience for me. I knew some people that were making money in it, and they had would suggest books, how to win friends and influence people, and positive thinking and things like that I read while I was in Amway, and they had cassette tapes and later CDs, and the majority of them basically taught confidence and people skills, how to talk to people, how to be interested in other people, saying hello, smiling at other people. So through trying to build an Amway business, which I was not successful at, building enough numbers really to make a lot of money. I made some, but I learned how to talk to people, how to say hi, and I got to the point where that was interesting to me to talk to other folks. So that did give me a bit of a confidence. Later, as a Christian, not that you all have to be Christians, I wish you were, but it got into witnessing my faith to other people. So, asking people if they believe that there's an afterlife, and then going through the gospel message. So that takes a lot of guts to bring that topic up with other folks. So I built up some confidence there as well. It's still a little nerve-wracking to bring up Christ. I don't know why. I think that's a devil thing, because everybody should know about Christ. But in the end, I build up confidence and ability to talk to folks. And I basically can talk to anybody about anything. And if I'm standing in line and you're around me, I'll say hi, believe it or not, and I'll start talking to you. So I think a lot of my boldness kind of comes from that, and my age now. So I'm 62. I wish I started going barefoot 20, 30 years ago. I mean, I lived in flip-flops for decades, but I've only been actually going barefoot probably full-time for like the last 5 years or so. But when it comes to going into stores or museums or businesses where being barefoot may seem unusual, that takes a little bit of boldness, and it's developed over time. And now, even sometimes I may get a little bit of butterflies in my stomach, but I still go in. I still go in barefoot because I guess I'm committed. Maybe a little crazy, but committed to go. So I don't shy away from who I am. I'm a Christian first, family man second, and I go barefoot. That's kind of a third, fourth, or fifth thing down the road. And so you got to gain that confidence, and that's kind of where mine came from. And I think the other thing is the more I do this, I usually don't get negative. I mean, you get the weird looks, so you understand what that's like. I think of what other people groups, culture groups, go through a little bit, as far as, when you walk in and get weird looks and stuff. But, I'm enjoying life. I was born in '63, so, when the hippie thing was big, and then in the '70s when we had the big bell-bottom pants, and so we kind of just did stuff, and so to do this, especially after I got hurt, I had my work boots on, and I was going down some steps from my house, and the heel caught, and I sprained my ankle really bad and cracked the bone, and so it took a long time to heal. but I've never done that barefoot. And so from that time on, I'm like, if I can go barefoot, I'm going to be barefoot. And there's sometimes weather, winter weather, and work, so that won't allow you to go barefoot. But other than that, I'm committed to go barefoot just because it's healthier. You walk differently, especially if you're running. You'll find out all these shoes are made with big heels on them and all soft, so that it makes it softer, but it messes up. They squeeze your toes together. You're not using your calves like you should, because your calves are your shock absorber. If you normally walk, you should walk where your heel rarely ever touches the ground, especially if you're running. If you're running, your heel never should touch your ground, because your calves are your shock absorbers. So if you're walking right, then it's less stress and impact on your knees and hips and whatnot, because you're not doing all these heel strikes. So there's a lot of benefits to going barefoot. You obviously pay attention more to where you're stepping. And the other one is the sensory. You could feel so much more. We were in the Durham Museum here in Nebraska, and I was walking through one of the antique rail passenger cars. And the first thing I noticed was how soft the carpeting was, because it wasn't this artificial fiber. I think it was made of wool, and it was really soft. And here you have these people going through the train that have no clue that carpet's different, So you can feel the different textures. You go on hikes. Of course you're walking, watching where you step. But all the different textures, and you also feel in all the different temperatures as you walk around. So there's so many positive benefits here. Some talk about grounding, the electrical side of it, hugging trees. I'm not really a tree hugger, but I'm not denying it. So there's a lot of benefits to it, but I'm going down a rabbit trail here. But it gets back to that confidence. You need the biggest builder on confidence is just to do it and go through it. And once you work through it, you find out it wasn't as bad as you made it up to be. It's all psychological. You get successes where nobody says anything to you. You're in and out of a store, and it's all been great, and you feel the different temperatures. And at Walmart, you're in the cooler section. You feel how cool the floor is there compared to the rest of the store. And it's just, the rubber part of the entrance mat, and how it has some cushion to it. You feel all these things, and the next thing you know, if you're like me, you'll have people coming up to you asking you about being barefoot, and the fact that they know there's benefits in it, and they'll ask you about it. And you know what? I get it all the time. I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. And it just boggles my mind. I'm like, slip your shoes off, throw them in your cart, and go barefoot. You could do it right now. So don't let other people's hang-ups and culture. And I've had an old woman, man, and I'm old, I'm 62, but I had a much older woman giving me that stink eye because I was barefoot in the Sam's Club. And the next thing you know, I have another woman walking across just to talk to me about the benefits of being barefoot because she wanted to know. So just go do it, get some confidence, work yourself through it. You'll be all right. This is Lane, the Nebraska Barefoot guy. See ya. Love you.